Welcome back to class. Hopefully you were able to take a look at last week's syllabus, in which I made a few predictions about the United States economy now that we are at war with Iran, or whatever they're calling it. Now, obviously all my predictions came true because I'm a very smart person and I'm not just spouting off a foreign government's talking points. No, I'm making real predictions. Things that you can trust, that I came up with myself. Things like the downfall of Western civilization and that everything that you're thinking is bad and you should feel bad for thinking it. And for my students in the audience, you're gonna be able to ask me questions afterwards about the things that I'm talking about. And everybody else can debate me in the comment section of this YouTube video. Just keep in mind that I'm a professor and I'm always right and you have no idea what you're talking about. You know, I've seen the chatter online, a lot of people calling me fake, that I'm a liar.
Every once in a while, there's a teacher so phony, so full of misconduct and misinformation that it is my duty to expose them.
You've probably seen this guy around lately. He calls himself a professor. He's not really who he says he is at all.
He's the newest viral academic, but he's not really an academic.
He doesn't have a master's degree. He doesn't have a PhD.
This guy has been popping off. I think I glanced at it and was like, who is this clown? I don't know what this is. Like, okay, this is completely idiotic. It seems like he's becoming very, very popular for his hot geopolitical takes.
He made some predictions in 2024 that have landed, so the hosts are treating him like a prophet. But there are some things you need to know about this guy before we get into it.
This person is incredibly unwell and incredibly malicious.
How can you even challenge him? This is a professor. He's a guy who's worked at Harvard. He has the credentials.
And you don't question or talk back to a professor because he has the credentials.
If you don't see it at this point, man, that this guy is some schizophrenic liar, I don't know how to explain it to you, and you deserve to be duped.
His lectures are not all they claim to be.
I'm not saying he's wrong about everything, for what it's worth, but all of them are straight out of the CCP playbook, and that begins to establish a pattern that he's giving credibility to all of these ideas that continue to divide us. The messaging that he's giving you as an American is that you have no power to do anything, that you're controlled by a secret society, you should be ashamed of your country's heritage, you should be ashamed of where your country is going, and that it's a lost cause.
That's all bullshit. I come up with my own theories based on other people's research and game theory and systems theory, things that I totally have a degree in. I'm Professor Travis, after all, you know? I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, believe me, Professor Dave, I got a few words for you. Calling me an idiot. My predictions are so correct so often that I got to be on breaking points.
All right, guys, we've got yet another heavy hitter guest and first-time guest on the show. He uses game theory to analyze past, current, and to predict future geopolitical events. And he joins us now. Professor, great to have you.
Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for having me. What I don't think a lot of people understand about the Overton window is that it's actually a recycled game theory concept called a shelling point. And I'm actually going to be releasing a video about that pretty soon on my channel. So Crystal, like and subscribe. All right, so in last week's predictions, where I said that Trump was requesting a $1.5 trillion budget for the military because he's been planning on the war in Iran ever since the Epstein files came out, which was going to leave us about $400 to $600 billion short in our budget, which would then spark a spiral of cutting a bunch of social programs, borrowing a bunch of money from foreign countries like China, and just, you know, economically having a bad go of things. Now, a select few of the people invested in this project will tell you that we have nothing to worry about. Us rich people, we have nothing to worry about. The economy's actually going according to plan, and poor people are just gonna have to suck it up for a while until we can take control of Iran.
I am very, very optimistic on 2026. We have set the table for a very strong, non-inflationary growth economy.
The economy is doing great. The stock market's higher now than when I came to office, and we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariff money, and we've had no inflation. You know, they kept saying inflation. There's no inflation. Groceries are down. Gasoline is way down, way down. Everything is down. All energy costs are down.
The fact is that the U.S. economy is fundamentally sound, and that if it were to be extended, it wouldn't really disrupt the U.S. economy very much at all. It would hurt consumers, and we'd have to think about, you know, if that continued, what we would have to do about that. But that's like really the last of our concerns right now, because we're very confident that this thing is going ahead of schedule.
So last time, my prediction was that the United States economy was becoming something called a runaway system. And we defined a runaway system as like a negatively reinforcing feedback loop. It causes everything to spiral and crash. So, are things crashing as I predicted? Well, I mean, the Dow sure isn't at 50K. All right, let's take a look at my first totally correct prediction from last week. Military gets bigger, borrow more money. Military gets bigger, borrow more money. Military gets bigger, borrow more money. Military gets bigger. All right, within a couple of days of me posting that video, Pete Hegseth came out and said this.
Well, as far as $200 billion, I think that number could move, obviously. It takes money to kill bad guys. So we're going back to Congress and our folks there to ensure that we're properly funded for what's been done, for what we may have to do in the future. Everything's refilled, and not just refilled, but above and beyond. And an investment like this is meant to say, hey, we'll replace anything that was spent. And now that we're reviving our defense industrial base and rebuilding the arsenal of freedom and cutting deals like our great deputy secretaries here is doing, long lead times on exquisite munitions, we're going to be refilled faster than anyone imagined.
Oh, he wants $200 billion more for the war effort, huh? It sounds like I made a correct prediction.
The war is almost over. Why is the Pentagon going to ask Congress for an additional $200 billion?
Well, we're asking for a lot of reasons beyond even what we're talking about in Iran. This is a very volatile world.
And now it's time for me to do what you probably clicked on this video expecting me to do. Make some more predictions. Prediction number 1, No King's Day number 3 on March 28th. My prediction is that we finally hit that 3.5% mark. I think we're gonna have 12 million people in the streets protesting the war in Iran. That's gonna lead to some pretty big changes in the government. I don't think Pete Hegseth is gonna get his $200 billion. In fact, I think the United States is gonna look for some off-ramps for the war in Iran and try to blame the whole thing on Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu. Why do I think this? Where is this prediction coming from? Okay, so I think that MAGA is fracturing and they see the writing on the wall. The future of the party is Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, two anti-Semitic freaks who want the United States to have nothing more to do with Israel. If the people in the Trump administration can also read the writing on the wall, they too will see this. They'll see that Pete Hegseth's optics are like looking in a urinal. They're gonna realize that him saying that this is a holy war to start another Armageddon isn't scoring them points with anyone, not even themselves. One of the reasons they obviously started the war is because they were taking too many L's on the domestic fronts and needed to boost themselves with a couple quick foreign wins. You know, kidnap Maduro, take out the Ayatollah, profit?
The Pentagon says that just the first week of this war cost over $11 billion, more than $1 billion a day. The new massive $200 billion request is roughly a quarter the cost of the Iraq War, which by one estimate totaled $815 billion over 13 years.
So we're gonna see the United States very quickly pull out of Iran and then refocus their efforts on, like, Cuba, whose infrastructure has collapsed and Trump's already just talking about it openly.
Cuba, it's a failed nation. They have no money, they have no oil, they have no nothing. They have nice land. I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That'd be good. That's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah.
Is it really a prediction if Trump's just saying it out loud? Who cares? I'll take it. I'll take the easy win. Honestly, it's pretty easy to make these predictions. These people are not operating in subtle ways.
We had Venezuela, we have Cuba, we have Colombia in our backyard. And these three countries have been condemned ever since I've been in politics. You just wait for Cuba. Their days are numbered. We're gonna wake up one day, I hope in 26, in our backyard, we're gonna have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans. This is a big frigging day.
I'm not looking for a fair fight. If we get in a fight, I want to win it. I want to win it quick. I'm in Miami. You see this hat? Free Cuba. Stay tuned. Yeah. The liberation of Cuba is upon us. It's just a matter of time now. You see this hat? Make Iran great. President Trump said the only way to make Iran great is for the people to take over. We're marching through the world. We're cleaning out the bad guys. This is Ronald Reagan plus. Donald Trump is resetting the world in a way nobody could have dreamed of a year ago. Iran is going down and Cuba is next.
Like I said, they're not even trying to hide it. They're just saying it at this point. If you look closely at that clip, you can see the cage behind Lindsey Graham's eyes where he trapped his soul.
we're gonna blow the hell out of these people.
Like I said last time, if you're thinking in systems, all you gotta do is think about how certain things are leading to other things, which are leading to other things, which are leading to other things, which are leading to some very bad things happening at the moment. When very bad things happen for a prolonged period of time, people get sick of it, which is why I think that March 28th is going to be a tipping point. We are finally going to get over that hump. They're gonna be like, F this Trump guy, I'm so done with his erratic nonsense. Wasn't he supposed to be the peace president? I was just having a conversation with some people in my life who somehow still support Trump. Even they were like, what is happening? They're never gonna accept that he's a dementia-addled fool who got duped into doing a despot's dirty work. There's a tongue twister. All right, you've stuck around this long. Secret Professor Travis prediction here. I think Israel's gonna sacrifice Netanyahu to the International Criminal Court. Try and throw him entirely under the rug for all of this. That way the rest of his administration gets away scot-free and gets to continue being terrorists in the Middle East. There you go. That's Professor Travis predicts. Like and subscribe so you can check in next time and see if any of these predictions came true. I'm sure they will. I am a genius after all. They're calling me the Nostradamus of the United States. Once again, I definitely have an actual degree in political science. Quickie prediction here. The United States will never reinstate the draft. And if they do, that's the end of MAGA. And once they realize what reinstating the draft actually means, then they'll revolt on Trump and the entire movement. What other predictions can I make here? Trump tries to buy Cuba first, and everyone laughs at him and is like, who are you gonna buy it from? All right, next prediction. If things keep going the way that they are, Pete Hegseth's out. They're gonna replace him with a general who's not gonna trap you in a conversation at Christmas and tell you that the real meaning of the holiday is that Jesus is coming back on the 25th of December to rapture you like the Left Behind books. They're gonna replace him with somebody who doesn't talk like that. All right, final prediction. You're gonna like this video, and you're gonna subscribe to my channel, and maybe you're gonna ring that bell so you get notified when I post. And then final prediction, I'll see you in the next video.